Every living organism on planet Earth is made up of 4 nucleotides and 20 standard amino acids, and yet these have been able to form over 1 billion unique species. This is the diversity of life. Venus flytraps. These plants are a fascinating species, the one most well known to have evolved to be carnivorous. This video will actually cover most of the family Droseraceae, of which there are about 200 living species. For Venus flytraps and its relatives, molecular evidence suggests that the snap trap evolved only once. This gave rise to the genii Aldrovanda and Dione, where the famous Dione muscipula can be found. Its common name comes from the Roman goddess of love, and its genus comes from the Greek mother goddess Dione. This attractive species evolved in environments with low nitrogen and phosphorus, so the ability to trap prey became a great advantage. The insects provide the protein that the plants cannot get from the soil. The arthropods it prefers include beetles, spiders, and ants, and only rarely eats flying insects such as flies, despite its name. Geologically, they are only found natively in North and South Carolina. Specifically, they live in Carolina's green swamp. The Venus flytrap are a pretty resilient plant. They can survive winters and natural fires fairly well. The Venus flytrap is lucky to be a part of a select group of plants that have a rapid movement. That is, its trap can close in 100 milliseconds. When an unfortunate insect stimulates the trigger hairs, a complex series of chemical reactions occur, which ultimately swell the cells through osmosis, changing the physiology of the trap from convex to concave, which is a complex way of saying the trap closes. The hairs must be triggered in succession, which prevents the leafy jaws from closing every time a droplet of water falls in it. However, if the prey escapes, or it does close accidentally, the jaws open up again for a few hours. If all goes smoothly, the prey will be stuck inside the trap, now a stomach-like organ, and digestion can occur. It takes 10 days to fully digest, but after that, the plant can go another 2 months without eating. More fun facts. Although they are difficult to grow, they are sold as houseplants from various florists, hardware stores, and supermarkets. They have been bred specifically to produce odd genetic mutations around the trap. In alphabetical order, there is the alien, the Dracula, the fine tooth, the fused tooth, knuckles, microdents, sawtooth, sunrise, and the wacky trap. A close relative of the Venus flytrap is Aldrovanda vesiculosa, also known as the water wheel plant. These use traps arranged in whorls around a central, free-floating stem, and it feeds on small aquatic invertebrates. Their traps are similar to the Venus flytrap, but they are 10 times faster, closing in only 10 milliseconds. Although this is the only extant species in its genus, it can be found in a variety of places: Europe, Southern Africa, China, Japan, and the coast of Australia. Their wide distribution is due to the movement of waterfowl, because it can stick to the feet of birds. A third genus of the Droseraceae family is Drosera, which has at least 194 species. These are distinguished by the glistening drops of mucilage at the tip of each tentacle, which resembles a drop of dew. That is actually where its name comes from. Drosos in Greek means dew or dew drops. An annoying species of carnivorous plants is the Drosera spatulata, or the spoon-leafed sundew. Many botanists consider this to be a weed because it is so hardy. It produces a large amount of seeds, and it germinates easily. A possible subspecies to this plant, Drosera tokaiensis, is quite fertile and vigorous. Both species can be found in Japan. Drosera capensis, commonly known as the Cape sundew, so named because it is found in the Cape of South Africa, has become the most common sundew in cultivation. Because of this, more is known about it. Like all sundews, it uses sticky mucilage to trap insects. This one uses a technique called thigmotropism to roll lengthwise to bring more digestive glands in contact with the prey. The whole process is only a little slower than the Venus flytrap, taking 30 minutes. Actually, that's a lot slower, about 18,000 times slow. Insects are attracted to the sugary scents secreted by the glands of the sundews, including one called the Drosera anglica, or the English sundew. This one is a perennial herb, which means it lives for more than 2 years. It forms an upright stemless rosette, or circular arrangement, of leaves. Like other carnivorous plants, it grows in bogs where nitrogen is in short supply. Another similar species, the Drosera erythrogene, is native to Western Australia, but what sets it apart is the fact that it can grow up to 7 to 10 feet long. Drosera derbiensis lives quite close to the D. erythrogene and is found with a circular arrangement of leaves called an orbicular. This plant does not mind the heat, as it thrives in heated water and has evolved to avoid drying out, known as desiccation. Drosera plants, such as these, have a long history and many uses. During the medieval times, they were used as an herbal remedy for coughs. In fact, they actually do contain some medicinally active compounds and are still used today to treat asthma and other coughs. They have also been used as ornaments, Australian delicacies, and dyes. That's it for this video, but I might continue with this topic of carnivorous plants in a future video with pitcher plants.